And we're live, guys. We're going to the radio today. Good morning. It's still morning over here. I know it's after lunch there in Jasonville, Texas. I'm Bob, K6UDA. Welcome to my Thursday live stream where I try to thoroughly confuse you and confuse myself. How you guys doing? Let's see. What do we have today? Today I kind of decided let's throw this back to basics, to kind of basics here. And I don't know how this is going to work because once I turn on all the studio lights and I've got all this stuff running, I don't get very good reception on the radio. It looks like let me swap on over here to the camera. Looks like I've got about an S5 noise level. There's really nothing going on. If you look, if I become a scope head for a minute here, you could really see there is nothing going on at all. At least on 40 meters. So I say let's jump on over to 20 meters. And we'll see what's going on over here. Let's see, 40 people on the stream right now. We already got 10 thumbs up on the stream. That is freaking awesome. And I don't see anybody on there, but I'm not going to turn that up yet. I'm going to go ahead and get that set up for just a little bit later. So today, guys, good morning. Again, I'm Bob, K6UDA. We are going to talk today about some basic stuff and what that is. Are these two knobs right here, the AF gain on your HF set and the RF gain, aka squelch. What do they do? How do they work? And why do we even have them? Why don't we just have a volume knob? Because that's really, most of us use it like that. But if you ask some of the experts out there, some of the big contesters, they use the AF, RF, and squelch in a completely different way. Now, squelch, let's just, well, you know what? Before we do that, let's go. We'll check out some of your comments here, and man, gotta get in there. Oh, you know what? Let's see. So if Bob doesn't thank Jason in the first minute, do we get to thumbs down? No, you don't get to thumbs down. And Jason, yes, thank you for linking the stream on your channel there. That is awesome. Yeah, I guess that puts you now in the you are firmly in the number 3 slot, I guess, and I'm trailing behind. But that's okay, because my goal is to put out the most entertaining content for you guys that I possibly can. Let's see. Let's see. Frederick Strickland, KF3EMS in the house. Let's see. Kevin says thumbs down if not. Oh, I did get a thumbs down now. Oh, well, buffering here. And let's see. I'm on the right network here, my faster network, which is my little Sprint hotspot. I think we crashed YouTube. Crap. Am I locked up? I don't know. Let's see. Stuck at 33 seconds. Holy shit. Okay, there's $1 for the swear barrel. I don't know. I don't know what to say, guys. If you're stuck in radio hell, it is. I haven't pushed any buttons, by the way, yet. No, I have not pushed the wrong button because I haven't pushed any buttons. Anyway, here's what I want to talk about. Let's grab a radio from over here. A quick little radio. My FT3 for the example. Let's run over here and let's talk about what squelch does. I think everybody here knows what squelch does, but we'll get to what it does on this radio, or how RF and AF gain combined kind of make that. So on my Wires X node right now, you don't hear anything, but if I hit the squelch button on FM, right now the squelch is knocking out any signal, any audible signal. It's basically making this radio deaf, and I can't. You can't see the little yellow thing over here for squelch, but yeah, it makes it deaf. Now I open it up all the way, and it's not deaf anymore. Now it's hearing any signal that would come in near or distant. Now it's tightened down a little bit, and if there's close stations that are very, very strong, competing close stations or interference in there, you're going to tighten that squelch up, and that's how squelch works. You're attenuating the front end of the radio so it can't hear it. It can't get into the first IF. So how does that affect now the HF station? So let me read you a quick little thing here. Let's see. Squelch is the circuit function that acts to suppress audio output of a receiver in the absence of a sufficiently strong desired input signal. Jesus, what does that mean? Just kind of what I said. If you've got a QSO going on, you got a guy talking here, and let me see if I can't put this thing on scan and find some kind of... Okay, that's not a signal I want to hear. But maybe one of these will be. I don't know. Anyway, that's a desired signal. So the squelch, if I wanted to only hear signals that were very, very close to me in the local area, I could tighten that squelch down, and that guy who had some noise behind his signal, he would go away. Just completely go away. That's what squelch does. Or you can open it up to hear the very, very faint signals, and it works like that. AF gain, which is the audio, is the audio... crap. That's the audio frequency. Whoop, hang on. Wrong camera. Okay. AF gain. Audio frequency gain. This is normally known as the volume. So I could turn this up, and I could turn this up to an ungodly amount. The signal is still the same. I have it no matter what I have, and let me move this over here. Or let me put it in here and adjust this up. Nope, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to hold this. Okay, so AF gain over here is all the way down. So the audio frequency gain is all the way down. No sound coming out of the speaker. The radio frequency, the RF gain, is all the way open. That's like opening up the squelch on this radio. All the way. As I turn this down, it's going to tighten up, and you'll see this over here is going to start moving. It's all the way open here. It is, I'm bouncing in F5, F4 to S4 to S5 noise level on 20 meters right now. As I tighten this down, screw this down, that perceived noise level is going up, but actually what that is now is squelching out some of those signals. But if I turn the AF gain up, I could turn that AF gain way up here, and I could tighten this down even more. And if I could find a signal, let me see if we could find somebody. Give me a second. Oh. We'll open that up a little bit. And I'm not pulling them in real good.
TXP here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And let's see, right now it is basically
so
104 degrees and very warm.
We've got a station in Las Vegas. I'm going to move this over to the pan adapter here. This guy is just banging in here. Now, I have AGC. The automatic gain control was set on fast. For sideband work, you want it set on slow. It doesn't need to be on fast, so it's not changing super, super fast. So one of the things I could do is I could turn that down. Now you see how loud he is. I've turned that off.
No entertainment yet, but so still pretty well housebound, Roger.
But I could turn him down. And now I could turn the weak signal way up.
Roger, leave it. 73 is low, everyone.
So if I'm looking for that weak signal behind him, I could play with the RF gain, turn the AF gain all the way up, and I can play with this. And now I could drag that guy up. I could turn that gain control back on. That's the bad thing about it. Is that if I've got a strong signal in there, that's where the gain control, the AGC controls come in and are really super, super handy. Let's see. What do we got? Have I lost everybody on the stream here? 58 people on the stream, 35 thumbs up. Let's make that 58 thumbs up. Let's see what you guys have to say in here. So anyway, just this is a quick, good way to drag in those weak signal stations when you're working HF. It works particularly good for me here because I have such a high noise level, and I could basically null out a lot of the atmospheric noise and get a good clean signal in here by doing something like this, where I'm not listening to, and let me crank that open. Now you see how dirty that sounds? There's just a lot of background noise. And what I've done here is I opened up the RF gain all the way, and I'm using the AF gain as a volume control only. So here, now watch this. All that noise behind him just went away. Crank up my AF gain. And if I don't knock the VFO, look how clean he sounds. But you'll see that the my S meter now is just pegged over at 20 over. Doesn't matter. I can come over here to the pan adapter, and I could see he's got a good signal in here. I am fairly screwed down on my pan adapter. I don't keep this thing really wide. Let's see. Try the noon net. You know, here's my problem. I will try the noon net, and 7 dot, what is it? 238. And I'm not really hearing 283. We'll get this. What I'll do is I'll turn this down. I'm going to open up that RF gain. And you're going to see opened all up here. I have I have my S9 noise level, which absolutely sucks. So a lot of times I just can't hear a thing. And I could barely hear them. So let's try this. We'll turn this up. We'll try to screw this down and see what we can get. I'm going to turn my AGC off. I'm going to turn this way up over here. I'm going to crank that down. And we will see. I can't. Yeah, you see, I'm just not picking anything up. And there's really nothing on the scope either. I've just got such a high noise level here. If I turn this all the way down, it's just kind of, man, sorry guys. I didn't think all the lights were gonna do that to me, but they did. When you turn the lights on in here, it does create a nice high RF field, a nice high RF near field. So let's see, 23850. Let's see, Yeah, I'm on 5.0, and I'm not even not hearing anything. So we'll just turn that down and get back to this. Love the videos. Gets me inspired to try HF again from my friend Chris over in the UK. Chris, HF is a lot of fun. It can be frustrating, especially when you've got these kinds of problems. I've got, I mean, obviously, I got a lot of money tied up in all this gear, a lot of time into the antennas, and then I get stuff down the street that I can't control that kind of kills it, and then plus operating with all the lights and I mean, I'll show you. I've got a light here for the background. I've got I'll okay, light here for the background. My blue light back here. I've got strip lights, LED strip lights in back of the monitor over there. I've got a fill light here, and I've got my big main light over here. And then my main camera, that's camera number 1 there. Camera number 2 over here is on top of the monitor, and there's the program I'm using. But anyway, that's kind of it in a nutshell. That's the YouTube studio, as it were. Let's see. I haven't got any new patches lately, so I don't have any of that to show off. Let's see. Have I missed any while I was doing anything? I want to make sure I haven't missed any of your super chats, and it doesn't look like I've missed any super chats. So, in honor of all the various standard super chats that we all get, I have my 556. I have a 357 45 and my 9mm. Those are my main. That's my main clubbing rounds. Let's see. 63 guys on the stream, and let's see, 49 thumbs up. Thank you guys. That is freaking awesome. I love it. We are getting ready to head out again to Idaho, and you might be Idaho. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we are getting ready to head out to Idaho and Southern Oregon early part of next week to go do a little bit more house hunting. I will, if I have internet, if everything is good, I might try to do a stream off of my laptop or off my phone. I guess I could stream off of this. Doesn't look as good, but if anything is kind of cool out there, maybe we'll try to do something next Thursday. Let's see. I'm kind of disappointed. I can't hear anything. I had a whole deal for you. I was going to pick out the near signals, the far signals. We did a little bit of it on 20 meters. Let's try it again. See if anybody's out there. Yeah, there's a signal out there on 20 meters. We could get back to that. Does anybody, number one, have any questions, comments, suggestions for the group? Since since we are having our weekly meeting of the COVID Amateur Radio Club, let's just call it the COVID Amateur Radio Club. And let's see, that guy's not banging for me down here on the Central Coast. but he's copyable. Uh, Life at terminal velocity. Carlos needs to get an HF rig. Um, Now, because the 705 is coming out soon, and because Eric over at Ham Radio Concepts somehow got a hold of one and did a video last night of it, and I don't know how many of you guys saw that, but that'll be going. That ought to be going like Ham Radio viral by now. Just insane. He briefly played with it, talked about the features, talked about a few things. There's a few things on that radio that I didn't expect to see. Um, let's see, the external mic jack, the external speaker jack. That was not a surprise. Antenna jack was not a surprise. There was something in there. God, I can't remember what it was. For power. Um, and I guess you would have to make up a jack if you wanted to hook up like a Bioenno battery or something, because I don't know exactly how the power distribution is going to work on that radio. It's gonna be interesting though. There was something else that had an odd jack on it on the back. It was normally I wouldn't have expected to have like an 1/8 inch phono jack for, and I can't remember what it was. I saw it on his show last night. Oh well. After we're done here, go watch the 705 video. Very, very cool looking radio. I am going to get one. So something here has to go. Now, I also would love to swap this out for the new Elecraft K4 when those things start shipping. But I have quite a bit of money tied up in this. So I don't know when that or if that'll happen. Plus the fact that, you know what, I'm buying a new house at some point here. So we will see. JS8 call makes it easier for small setups from Nick Peterson. Yeah, that very well. JS8 call. When he gets that whole UART thing worked out, I'm going to be such a big fan of that. I actually made some QSOs on that last weekend during Jason's live show. But what I had to do is I had to tell it there was no radio attached to it and do everything manually. I had to key this radio using the transmit button here, and that's how I did that. So, Jason, thank you for putting that show up. That did help me out. I can't wait until he gets that one section worked out, because with WSJTX I can have full automation with the K3 here. And let's see, we'll go back to camera 1 for a minute. That is really, really nice. Now I did screw something up, and I think it might be with the LOTW program. I updated LOTW, and now all of a sudden it will not log anything into LOTW from MacLogger. So I'm dealing with that. And you know what? Thank God I haven't worked a contest where I needed to upload to LOTW. But I am still uploading to EQSL and QRZ, for those of you that care. Let's see. What else have we got going on here? Not the strongest anymore. Um, Wide range receive is great on the 705. I don't know, Chris. Do you guys have 705 available in the UK yet? I'm I'm still trying to figure out how Eric got a hold of one here in the States. Um, I guess I guess even ICOM didn't see his video coming. So we'll see. Hard for me to commit, Wayne. Hard for me to commit that kind of money for a 10-watt radio. You know, Wayne, you're. I gotta disagree. A 10-watt radio. Oh, that was it. The ALC. Was it? Yeah, that was for the ALC. Was this little 1/8" jack on there that goes out to an amp? I'm pretty sure that was the ALC input. So anyway, get yourself a little Hard Rock 50, or if you're a current Elecraft guy like I am, I have the Elecraft 100-watt amp, and now you've got a 100-watt radio sitting there. And if I really wanted to get cool, I could hook up the 705 over here. Whoop. To my 500-watt Elecraft amp, and now I've got, probably a good effective 300-watt radio. So don't let the 10 watts fool you. That radio is going to be capable of being your base station radio if you want it to be. You're just going to have to do a little bit more work. And as far as no ATU on board, in the field, I love using resonant antennas because at QRP levels, if you're taking this thing out to do a POTA or a SOTA activation, you're traveling light. Travel with, the one or two antennas that you plan on working, little end feds or whatever you're going to do, a mag loop. You tune the antenna. You don't have to worry about the radio. The radio then is putting out the entire 5 or 10 watts that it's going to be you want it to put out, and you're going to get out. Now, in today's conditions where we're just now starting to come out of the bottom of a solar cycle or a low solar cycle, things are only going to get better. Yes, it's going to be a challenge right now, but in 5 or 6 years, what you're learning to do now to get out is going to make you the king of ham radio 5 or 6 years from now, when the solar cycle starts to pick up and we start to get toward the top of the next solar cycle. And when that happens, my friends, if you've been working on your skills of getting out during a low solar cycle, holy shit, you will be the man. You will be able to do anything at that point. Anyway, back to the comments here. Aloha, Bob from Todd. Todd, good to hear you. Chris says no, he does not have the. They don't have the 705 there yet. Let's see. Andy Crowley, he is working for Gigaparts. Yeah, Eric does have a really good relationship with Gigaparts, and they kick him down a lot of stuff to go ahead and review, and that's awesome. I don't know if he's working for him. I don't think he is, but hey, more power to him. That's awesome, and we get to see stuff a little bit early. I guess. Let's see. Let's see. From Chris on the YouTubers Bunch asked Ray if it had wide range receive, and he confirmed it. VHF 137 to 174, not just fixed to the ham bands. Yes. So it does have a fairly wide range receiver. It's not DC to daylight, but man, that turns that radio, the guts of that radio into a super super useful radio that is actually, in my opinion, it is far more flexible than a 7300. It's more flexible than a 9700 because it's both of those radios combined into one. And yeah, I know some of you guys are going to say, but it doesn't have an ATU and it only has 10 watts. Guys, don't worry about that. In the shack, you can always hook up an external antenna tuner and an amp. Put a 100-watt amp on the thing. Put an external tune. As a matter of fact, get your Elecraft KXPA 100 amp out with the built-in tuner. Plug it in to your into a 705, and you have an unbeatable machine that will tune a fence post. So don't let the smooth taste fool you. That machine is going to be a beast. Let's see. Dawn saw Eric's video. So did I, man. I saw it. It had just posted less than a minute, and it came across my feed. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And I watched part of it until my wife said, "We're not watching this on my time." So I watched it later. Let's see. I've got. Let's go check out some more comments here. Da da da. Hell, wish I could afford an HF rig from Todd. You gotta just hunt. You gotta keep hunting, and they do turn up from time to time. I've got a couple of videos on buying used stuff, and I have bought most of the radios that I own have been secondhand. Now this K3S I bought new. It replaced the K3 that came out of my uncle's house. Everything else in my shack here came out of my uncle's shack that I bought from him when he upgraded to a Flex. And then when the K3S came out, updated to the K3S because I wanted all those features. But buying used is a really, really good option. Let's see, ham radio. Showed the same stuff on my hamcation video for the 705 from Jason. Yeah, Jason, but you didn't have that 705 sitting on your desk. That was the big difference. That impressed the hell out of me. It made me very, very jealous that he had that there that he could play with by himself with no reps standing over him, no Ray Novak giving him rules of the road. He can't hit the transmit button, nothing. He was able to do whatever he wanted to do, I think, with that 705. I still don't know where it came from, but I do know it's not his. His is likely a JA model, and somebody just thumbs down me. You guys are killing me. 705 looks awesome. Might be my first HF rig. The 3.5 millimeter jacks for everything kind of bugs me. You know, guys, here's how I look at it. They've kind of broken the mold with that. They've taken the 7300, they've shrunk it down to a pretty portable size. It is bigger than a KX3. It's much bigger than a KX2. It's bigger than a Xiegu 5105. But I think in its package it does so much more. I think it is really going to change the way that we do HF radio, that we do portable radio, and the fact that I expect very soon there's going to be some apps coming out. Possibly some of the apps that we already have that we're already using for things like CW translation, because it does wireless. It becomes its own wireless network. I got a feeling you'll be able to go out to a mountaintop, hook up your phone to this, and use your keyboard on your phone and translate CW, possibly do FT8 or JT8 call on this, other digital modes right from your phone. That to me is a huge deal. Now you're completely autonomous. These things normally will last a full day on a charge, so you're not dragging out another computer. You're not even dragging out your iPad. It makes it very, very nice for going up the side of a hill when weight is everything. And trust me, a few of us know that weight is everything when you're going up the side of a mountain. Todd, there is 10 watts in, 600 watts out for only $95 this week on eBay. Let's see. Life at terminal velocity. Good question here, Carlos. Wouldn't you be better off buying a QRP radio, a tuner, and an amp instead of a monster radio with a tuner and a separate tuner, because the monster radio can only tune 3-to-1? Well, see, now it's a matter of inches again. I guess if you want to spend the money, you're going to buy the radio, you're going to buy an amp, you're going to buy a tuner. Then you're going to also put up an antenna. Nothing wrong with that. And to me, if you're just starting out and you're going to have one radio and you want to be able to use that radio in the shack and away from home, that is a great way to go. If you want to have a dedicated shack radio, and then you're going to also get a portable radio, I would say you could probably do yourself a little cheaper by buying, like a 7300 that's kind of all in one right there, and you can get this for $700-800 as the shack radio, and then go out and buy a QRP radio if you want to keep a dedicated shack radio. And there's a lot of people that do that, that want to do that. There's a lot of guys that can't afford to do that, so you got to pick one. And you got to decide, do you really want to take it out of the house? I know a lot of guys, me included. Let me see. My Kenwood radio here. Let's go back over to camera one. This radio I bought on opening day when it first came out. This cost me this was $600. This and I did drop it one time. I got a mark on this radio somewhere. If I put my glasses back on, I'll be able to find that mark. And yeah, right there, I got my blemish. That made me sick. I wanted to cry when I dropped this thing, because I've got so much money into it, and it's a handheld. It does everything that I would ever want a handheld to do, except multi digital modes. But then again, this plus this, and I have multi digital modes. But anyway, I don't take this out of the house anymore because I'm scared to, because it cost me $600. I take this out of the house because I paid $300. I paid half of what I paid for this. Actually, I probably paid more. But this one I take out of the house. I use this more as a daily driver. Now this one, my Anytone 878. This is the radio I take with me along with my open spot when I want to go I take a motorcycle ride and I might want to operate, because I can do D-Star on this. I could get back into the fusion room, which gets me back into my local repeater. This radio is, I would say, well, it's pretty much the cheapest of these three, as far as the price tag. And number one, it's the loudest. This thing is by far the loudest and sounds the best of all three of those radios. But if I drop this one, I'm not going to feel as bad as if I drop this. The same reasoning now is going to go into, we'll go back over to camera 3. This does not go out of the shack. This is several $1,000s worth of radio here. It doesn't leave the shack. This doesn't go on DXpeditions with me because I don't want to ship it and have something happen to it. So it stays here. So I have a KX3 that goes. Anyway, enough about that. Kind of depends upon what you're doing. Okay, let me get to some of the new comments, because I probably just Gigapart says MSRP of $1,500. No delivery date yet. Ray is thinking August or September. And we got to believe what Ray says. A 705 with an Alex loop would be a great combination for soda activations. Yeah, that would be a fantastic soda operation. I almost think the Alex loop, for me, packing that up for me, is almost too heavy. And that's by far the lightest of the mag loops. But I'll tell you what, hiking up the last soda peak that I did, man, that about freaking killed me. So I'm looking at more end-fed slink tennas, things that are super, super easy and super, super light to set up. But yeah, Alex loops, Chameleon loops, those are great antennas to take out with a 705 or a KX3. Armalite 223, 357, 45, and 9. Let's see, Dennis Cornell, Gigaparts has a want list you can get on if you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it, though. Being on that list, they call you and let you know that it is available. Good idea. Great suggestion, Dennis. Thanks. Um, and yeah, Jason says it wasn't the U.S. model. So, did you hear the back door lock after you came in? Oh yeah, you guys heard that. Mrs. K6UDA does that. Let's see. Ham Radio Concepts paid Ray's RV payment to borrow that 705. You could borrow it too for enough dollars. Yeah, I don't think I have enough dollars. And I just bought I just bought a new Glock 19 that's getting totally customized. It'll be it'll be starring on a show soon enough, sometime after I get back from my next trip. Let's see. Send me the Kenwood as a loaner. I'll take it in the sky. Yeah, I don't think so. That ain't gonna happen. The Kenwood really doesn't really leave the house. Uh, Todd says he got the MMDVM clone for getting on D-Star. He loves it. Yeah, guys, there's some hanky panky going on D-Star Reflectors 001 Charlie, and I guess it's going to happen on 30 Charlie, where you don't want to have multiple hotspots running from the same IP. They're shutting them off and blocking them because that's part of the problem where those reflectors are getting massacred. So so that's a word to the wise. If you're running a hotspot on 1 Charlie and soon to be 30 Charlie, make sure you've only got one hotspot running and hooked up to those. Let's see. The 897 needs a modem replacement. 20 watts on batteries, 100 watts on PSU portable. Yeah. And the 897 is a little bit bigger. Let's see, 10 watt QRP, good for much is the 10 watt QRP is good for much more than CW. Yep, it is. I'll tell you what, I've worked the world on QRP power when the solar cycle was up. We did in my club, we did an entire QRP field day and made more points on QRP with solar and battery power only than we ever made on full power or 100 watt power. So it can be there. Same power as the KX2. Let's see, and that catches us up to the end of the comments. Let's see. Let me take a quick listen. Let's see if we can hear anybody on here. And not much. Yeah, it's I have, as you can see here, now an over an S5 noise level. This is on a hex beam at 40 feet. That's outside. So this is all the garbage coming from the dope growers down the street. I don't know why they've got crap still running, but I guess they've got a ton of solar and batteries and I don't know if they keep the grow lights on all the time. Who knows? But everything's opened up. I've got nothing else going on here. Let's just go, and that's digital. And 10 meters will go very, very quickly because I know there's probably nothing going on 10 meters. If somebody wants to give me a call on 10 meters, that'd be awesome. We'll see if it works. Let's just go to Todd's channel, 28,425. I have an S2 noise level. I'll turn that up, and I am listening for any calls. And you can see that spike that's just moving around there. No calls. Nobody wants to say hi, or I can't hear anybody. Anyway, you turn that back down. Need a 53 volt power supply to get 600 watts with 12 amps. Looks cool, but yeah, well, hey, if you want a good amp will do it. Is gonna, like this this Elecraft amp down here, my 500 watt amp, that'll do it. Ultimately, the price of the, let's see, from So Daft Minecraft, ultimately, price of the 705 will be the deciding factor for me. He got his general. Very, very good. Let's we'll give you a round of applause for the general. Golf clap. Very good. And let's see. Take the KX3 into the woods from Lee Thompson. And let's see. Get the MFJ 1026 from Amlite. Let's see. I'd have to look up what the 1026 is. I don't know if that's one of the new ones that they were working on. We'll see. From We the People. We the People. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat there. I guess we could just take that and say two. And God bless the USA. That is awesome, dude. Thank you so much. Let's see. I should turn that down. Life at Terminal Velocity says, let's see, Todd doesn't have 10 meters on right now, and he just finished a net. Danny Thomas, groovy man, hope to make some more jumps in the area, and that was somebody else's conversation. Imagine that most of the QSO cards are in hand by now, and he may post them to Facebook. Very, very cool. Life at Terminal Velocity watching HRCC. Is Josh streaming now? And it is 12 o'clock. So, does anybody else have anything for the good of the net? Or shall we go ahead and call this another successful meeting of Club COVID amateur radio. And you know what, guys? Somebody help me out with a great name for our little radio club. We'll I'd love to do some kind of cool T-shirts or something for that. Let's see. I don't have anything else. No sense in the 1026 will get rid of most of my noise. I'll have to check it out and see what I've got something. What the hell was that called? It was another little box. Get rid of noise. Basically, it's just another filter. I've got a lot of filtering on the KX or the K3S. It won't take out atmospheric noise. It can't. I mean, it's not coming from in the house. I actually tried filtering stuff inside the house, and it's coming from down the road where they have a nice little marijuana farm. So my filtering doesn't take care of that because it kills. Actually, it nulls out the signals that I want too. Kind of like the RF gain on there. You're turning that down. You got to turn something else up to make it all work. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. And wow, from Bahrain, 73. Thank you, Tom, from Bahrain. Let's see, different hotspot for different radios on different modes. Yeah, and for W9THC, I kind of do the same thing. I do it less and less. I had one hotspot set up for DMR, one for Fusion, and one for D-Star. Now I've kind of switched it up around. I've switched it up a little bit. I've got one for D-Star that's on all the time, one that is now a gateway, an FCS gateway, and then the Open Spot 3, which kind of travels between whatever I want to do. Let's see. Have a great day, Bob. 10 meters is dead in Arkansas. Yep, it is obviously dead here too. Proselytizers start wars. Better to be open-minded and not accuse anyone of being wrong. May the gods bless America, plural and inclusive. I can agree with that. Definitely. Let's see. Well, or may the one God. Unless you're talking about the gods of ham radio. Let's see. 1026 is the MFJ 1026 is not a filter. It puts the local noises out of phase. Oh, interesting. I'm going to look into that. Thank you, Amlite. I will look into that. I might order one of those up and see what it does for me. Let's see. Online amateur radio club OCARC. I like it. Let's see. That's the okay, and then that's for the kit amp for $180. Okay. Got S9 noise on 20 meters down. Whoop, that one. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna say I'm gonna cut it off here. It's been an hour. Don't have much else to talk about. I kind of wanted to play that, but obviously HF isn't cooperating with me today and all these lights. So, again, guys, like if you haven't, or if you do, subscribe if you haven't. Check out my PayPal, my Patreon, and oh my God, this is beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the lights back on here because you gotta be fucking kidding me.